HomeCourtEdge TV is here for your viewing pleasure. Please click that button as we strive for 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy this video.
Returns after missing the 2007 season. While she was away, Diana Taurasi led Phoenix to a WNBA championship. Standing in her way of a second straight title, Leslie, Candace Parker, and the Los Angeles Sparks. Parker could be the future of the WNBA. She looks to make her mark against the defending champs. The Mercury received their rings today. They try to become the first team to repeat in 6 years. The quest begins next.
I'm a sophomore guard at the University of Pennsylvania. Been training with HomeCourtEdge for almost 10 years now. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on all of HC's social media channels, and stay tuned for our journey.
We're in Phoenix at the U.S. Airways Center as the Phoenix Mercury open defense of their WNBA championship, hosting the new look Los Angeles Sparks featuring Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker. Hi everyone, alongside Carolyn Peck. I'm Dave Pash. Heather Cox here with us as well. And Carolyn, we'll talk about Lisa Leslie in a moment. She's back. Candace Parker has arrived. More hype for her than anyone since Diana Taurasi, and she has certainly proved her worth, leading Phoenix to a championship last year. Parker trying to follow in her footsteps.
Well, Diana Taurasi did bring in a lot of hype, Dave. She was coming off 3 national championships when she came into the league, and Candace Parker has 2 under her belt. She was also MVP of the NCAA tournament. So these 2 players, star power, it's loaded tonight.
And of course, Lisa Leslie, one of the best players, if not the best player in the world, missed last year on maternity leave. And with more on her story, here's Heather Cox.
Indeed, Dave, tonight marks her first return to professional basketball 11 months after having her baby daughter, Lauren. Lisa did tell me today that she's still adjusting to balancing motherhood and being a professional athlete. In fact, she said, I'm a full-time mom with a part-time job. Last night marked just the second night that she'd spent away from her baby in those 11 months. Physically, she said, I'm 100%, but it did take a long time to reconstruct those abs following a cesarean section. And Dave, her coach Michael Cooper, said she seems a little bit more mellow with motherhood, but her fitness and stamina are back. Now it's up to getting into game shape.
Heather, she says she has not lost her focus and wants her 3rd WNBA championship. As we look at our starting lineup, brought to you by fanhouse.com. Leslie Parker will be joined by new acquisition Delisha Milton-Jones, who was on those championship teams earlier this decade. Marie Ferdinand coming over from San Antonio, and Tamika Johnson. Absent from the Phoenix Mercury lineup is Penny Taylor, who's staying with the Australian national team till the Olympics. Kelly Miller, point guard on the championship team a year ago. Pondexter was the finals MVP. Phoenix had a 23-win regular season. Los Angeles won only 10 games last year without Lisa Leslie. But everybody, seemingly everybody, picking Leslie and the Sparks to win the championship this year. In fact, Diana Taurasi joked with us yesterday that she picked the Sparks to win the title.
When you look at the lineup and you look at the front court, yes, you have Candace Parker, you have Lisa Leslie, but I think the addition of Delisha Milton is going to be huge for the Sparks.
Yeah, she was the enforcer on that team in the earlier part of this decade. 2001, 2002, won a pair of championships, and then was traded away for Shamiqua Holtzclaw back in 05 and brought back this offseason in a deal for Taj McWilliams. Franklin could be the X factor for this Los Angeles team. Phoenix will start with the basketball. Taurasi led the league in threes last year. She misses her first attempt of the 08 season.
I think the one area that the Los Angeles Sparks will have improved in is rebounding.
Here's Pondexter, the finals MVP. Just arrived here last night in Phoenix after winning a championship overseas in Turkey. She finds Tangela Smith for the first basket of 2008.
The Mercury is already showing Paul Ball really hasn't changed with Paul Westhead being gone. Corey Gaines taking over at the helm. He said he knows no other offense any better than Paul Ball.
Here's Candace Parker with her first shot as a pro. And tapped out to her, finds Leslie down low. 2 years ago, Lisa Leslie was the MVP of the WNBA. Averaged a career high 20 points per game at age 34.
Lisa Leslie holds the record for scoring and rebounds in the league in her 2-year career.
Great start for Tangela Smith, who was acquired before last season for the #1 overall pick in the draft. and was a key member of that championship squad. Leslie working hard on the glass, deflected out to Kelly Miller. Loose ball, Leslie dives for it, and it'll be a jump ball. Michael Cooper in his 7th year, his 2nd stint with the Sparks.
Don't ask for anything, take it.
And Cooper talking to Lisa Leslie. He has nicknamed her Smooth, and they won championships together earlier this decade. And Michael is now nicknamed Candace Parker Silk.
Well, he said, you know, the combination, it goes together, smooth as silk, kind of the passing of the baton as Lisa Leslie gets to the end of her career and Candace Parker starts hers.
Yeah, 13 years separate those two. Parker age 22, Leslie now age 35. And Lisa says that she thinks Candace Parker is a 5-dimensional player. Parker idolized Lisa Leslie growing up, getting a chance to play with her favorite women's basketball player in the pros, as Leslie is fouled by Wilmette Crockett. That's the first foul in the game.
You guys got to cut. When you pass the ball, you got to go split or cut through. Tell them that.
There's Corey Gaines. In his first year as the head coach, he was an assistant under Paul Westhead. Says he'll run the same system that Westhead did. He played for Paul at Loyola Marymount and in the NBA.
We asked him about what changes he would have to make not having Penny Taylor. He said basketball's a game of angles. He said so now the offense really is not going to change much except for just the angle in which he's going to run it.
Gaines says he knows nothing else but Paul Westhead basketball. In fact, he was a point guard on a team that included Bo Kimball and the late Hank Gathers at Loyola Marymount.
Double away.
Lisa Leslie with all of the Sparks points. As you can tell, both of our head coaches are mic'd today, wired for sound throughout the telecast as Pondexter gets her first basket.
You can't really tell that Cappy Pondexter just got off a plane just a few hours ago. She got in last night.
Parker guarded by Taurasi. Milton Jones tried to force that one, and Smith with the steal. Let's bring in Heather Cox.
Well, Carolyn was talking about Cappy actually only got 3 hours of sleep. Her flight was so delayed, and her teammate, Diana Taurasi, who returned from Russia on Wednesday to California, was actually hospitalized on Thursday night with stomach pain, dehydration, and fever. She was released Friday morning, flew to Phoenix, practiced for the team with the first time. So really, guys, this is the first time that they have played on the court together since they won the title a year ago.
It's going to be really interesting over the course of this game to watch fatigue, as just about every one of these players played overseas during the WNBA offseason.
Well, Corey Gaines talked about in practice on Friday that Diana was getting up and down the floor, and after a few trips, he said, I thought I was in shape. He said, it's a difference being in this kind of shape.
Candace Parker with her first WNBA basket, and she'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
And I think that the LA Sparks will get a lot of transition opportunities when you have players who can run the floor like Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker. It's going to be a fun season to watch these two, and both of them can dunk.
Yeah, Parker the first to dunk at a college game. Lisa Leslie the first to dunk at a WNBA game. Won 2 consecutive national titles at Tennessee. Candace also got her degree. She left Tennessee early, but missed her first year with a knee injury and ended up getting her degree in sports management. Candace's mom, Sarah, in attendance next to Candace's fiancé, Sheldon Williams of the Sacramento Kings.
One of the things that the Phoenix Mercury continue to keep within their offense is on-ball screening opportunities because they have such great shooters. In the preseason, they didn't have those shooters. Corey said he had to beg somebody to shoot the basketball.
Parker tried to hit Milton Jones in transition. It will stay LA basketball. Candace Parker wearing a harness on her left shoulder. She dislocated it twice during the NCAA tournament, but played through it to lead her team to a title.
Oh, in the regional finals against Texas A&M, Candace Parker, she exhibited great toughness because then she came back in the Final Four, had 2 tough games, received a lot of contact, but through the rehab of the trainer at Tennessee, Jenny Moshak, she was able to play and very effective. Wow.
You wouldn't think that Pondexter just got off a plane last night from Turkey. She's got 5 points and 2 of 3 shooting and 2 assists in the first 4 minutes. Foul on Phoenix, the 3rd team foul on the Mercury.
Cappy Pondexter looks like it's just the finals against Detroit. She's in the same swing of things as she was when the finals were over. It's like no time to think about it. Heather Cox and I were in the dressing room getting ready for the game, and Cappy got here. She jumped into the locker room. She's like, hey, y'all. She's got the energy. That's when Heather asked her about her sleep. I don't think she has really set in that jet lag's supposed to be affecting her right now.
She's always been a fiery player, even as her days as a Rutgers Scarlet Knight. And Pondexter has a WNBA tattoo on her shoulder. Many of you know that story. She grew up wanting to play professional basketball in the WNBA. That was the dream of Candace Parker as well. And not only that, but Parker and Pondexter tied with both having Chicago roots.
Is there something in the water in Chicago? Some talent coming out of that city.
Pondexter wearing the number that Michael Jordan wore, of course, in Chicago, is Kelly Mazzanti. All-time leading scorer in the history of the Big Ten men and women's basketball, gives Phoenix its largest lead. Nice defense there by rookie Wilmette Crockett. Phoenix on a 6-0 run. Here's Pondexter for three. Timeout, Los Angeles. Cappy Pondexter with 8 points early for the Mercury. Is not easy, but boy, Cappy Pondexter making it look that way. Like, even though she got off the plane late last night, barely slept, already 8 points for Pondexter in 4 minutes.
Well, she's showing her excitement of being back in this arena. She's doing it coming off screens, down in transition. No offense is really having to be run. Cappy's feeling it, and if you give her daylight, she's knocking that shot down right now.
Averaged 24 points per game in the playoffs last year, and just shy of 6 assists. She was the finals MVP, and Phoenix has an 8-point lead on a team many think will be in the finals this year, the Los Angeles Sparks. Here's Candace Parker making her WNBA debut. A left-handed shot by the rookie out of Tennessee.
Phoenix changed up its defense, went man-to-man. Candace Parker was able to take full advantage of it.
That ends a 9-0 Phoenix run.
So one of y'all have to cut.
Many think she is the future of the WNBA. How good can Candace Parker be, Carolyn?
Well, the theme of the WNBA is expect great, and I think that Candace Parker is going to be a great player in the WNBA.
Is that because of her versatility?
It's because of her versatility. I think it's also, she's got great talent, but she's going to be able to play alongside Lisa Leslie, who has been titled one of the best players in the world. So I think she's got a great person to learn from, a great mentor in Lisa Leslie. And Phoenix has changed its defense back up, going back to the Rover defense.
Here's Sydney Spencer, third in the WNBA in three-point shooting. She was really the lone bright spot last year as Milton Jones connects. When Los Angeles won just 10 games, obviously without Parker and without Lisa Leslie, who was on maternity leave last season. Here's Kelly Miller, nice move on Parker, good defense by Spencer. Now Lisa Leslie says Candace Parker can play 5 positions. Great look by Parker there, and Spencer cans a three.
Sydney Spencer needed to knock that shot down. Saw her in the hotel lobby. She was struggling a little bit with her confidence. But I think that having another former Lady Vol on the floor with you, it's got to give her a little comfort.
Yeah, they were teammates for a couple of years. And how about Parker running the break there as the point guard? Knocked out of bounds by Phoenix.
Good job, good job.
Look how Candace Parker attacks the middle of the floor, makes the defense collapse in. So you see all the defense is in here. That leaves Sydney Spencer wide open on the wing. She's got time, and she knocks the shot down.
7-0 run by Los Angeles. Yuko Oga is coming to the game for Phoenix, a training camp signee who's made the squad. Sydney Spencer with her second straight three, 10 in a row for the Sparks, and they lead now by 2.
Well, you can tell Michael Cooper has spent some time in zone, and when you've got a shooter like Sydney Spencer, she's got confidence knocking down shots. Look for her to find those holes.
Lady Husky to Lady Husky, Taurasi to Wilmette Crockett, both played at Connecticut. Taurasi in her 5th year, Crockett a rookie. Spencer, another three. That one off the mark. Crockett the rebound.
We didn't know if Yuka Oga was going to be able to play today. She got her visa, player from Japan.
And only the second WNBA player ever from Japan. There's only been one in the NBA. That was Yuta Tabus from the Phoenix Suns, actually. He played only 4 games with them back in the 04-05 season. Oga signed a contract in March. He's 25 years old and was the MVP of the Women's Japan Basketball League this past season. Lisa Leslie back into the game. 4 points for her, 2 rebounds.
I bet Michael Cooper is enjoying the luxury of having such people to substitute this year. He had a very short bench last season.
There's no question, at least potential-wise, they have the best front court in the league with Milton Jones, Leslie, and Parker. Nice cut there by Nicole Willingham. And Phoenix by 2.
I'm talking to Coach Corey Gaines about the offense of the Phoenix Mercury. So a lot of their offense comes from their defense. When playing this rover zone, you're making people take shots that you normally don't want to take shots. Now, you can't leave Sydney Spencer wide open.
That's 3 threes for Spencer. She's the leading returning scorer for Los Angeles. Taj McWilliams-Franklin led the team in scoring last year, but was traded in the offseason to Washington, for Delisha Milton-Jones. Leslie lost it out of bounds, but last touched by Ferris of Phoenix.
Phoenix in their zone. When the double team comes down, LA's doing a nice job of moving the basketball and finding the shooter. That's going to open up things on the inside for Lisa Leslie as long as Sydney Spencer's knocking down threes.
And 3 Lady Vault teammates are on the floor right now, and Spencer has got the last 9 LA points. Candace Parker and fellow rookie Shannon Bobbitt, a second-round draft pick. Here's Milton Jones, rebounded by Willingham. Oga looking to push the tempo. Corey Gaines says she's a perfect fit for this offense.
She's a true point guard. She sees the floor well. She knows when to attack the basket and distribute. She finds the shooters.
First foul on Los Angeles. It goes on Lisa Leslie. Michael Cooper says the Los Angeles Lakers are the best team right now. And you saw them last night on ESPN knock off the Utah Jazz to advance to the Western Conference Finals. Cooper, of course, a member of Showtime with Magic and Kareem.
He won 5 NBA championships, so I can understand his loyalty and allegiance to the Lakers.
And 2-time champion as a coach of the Sparks. Now in his second stint with LA as Taurasi is fouled, and they'll go to the line for free throws. That's on Milton Jones.
These are 5. These are 4.
Taurasi, an 84% free throw shooter a year ago. 3rd in the league in scoring at 19 points per game. She led the league and set the record 2 years ago at 25 per game. Coming up on NBA TV tonight, 2 more WNBA games, Washington and Indiana, followed by San Antonio and Sacramento. And then on ESPN2 Tuesday, Seattle, a team many think will contend for the championship, takes on Sacramento. And on ABC, Seattle at San Antonio next Saturday at 3:30. Talk about that Seattle Storm team with all the veteran players that they have, including, of course, the reigning MVP, Lauren Jackson.
Well, Coach Brian Agler has assembled a team with Cheryl Swoops, Yolanda Griffiths, Swin Cash. I mean, that's a list of all-stars. You already have Sue Bird there, and like you said, Lauren Jackson. A lot of talent.
Los Angeles turns it over. That's their 4th giveaway. Now Seattle certainly a contender. Many think Los Angeles is the team to beat. Obviously you can't count out Phoenix, even though they may not get Penny Taylor back at all this year. She's staying in Australia with the national team as Farrah scores the dish from Taurasi.
Really impressed with how the Phoenix Mercury is executing both offensively and defensively when their 2 best players just got here a couple of days ago.
And no Penny Taylor, as we mentioned, getting ready for the Beijing Olympics. Could return, though, afterwards as Ante misses, but Ferris, coming over from the New York Liberty in the offseason, gives him another opportunity. Ferris posting up on Milton Jones. Shot clock at 7 for Taurasi. Taurasi over Spencer. And Parker with a rebound inside of a minute to play here in the first quarter. Taurasi 0 for 3 so so far in the game. Spencer off the mark. Parker is there. Can't stick it back in. Milton Jones can't either. And Taurasi clears.
I think this zone is affecting LA and making them settle for taking outside shots.
Rebound there by Willingham off the Ogamis. Taurasi puts it on the deck, and Parker rebounds. 4-second difference between the game and shot clocks. Nice look by Leslie in make that Parker in transition. Another long-range shot by Spencer. She's got 4 threes.
That was Tennessee to Tennessee to Tennessee connection from Parker to Bobbitt to Spencer.
Michael Cooper says Spencer is the X factor this year if we win a championship. It looks good so far.
HomeCourtEdge TV is here for your viewing pleasure. Please click that button as we strive for 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy this video.
So much talent on this Los Angeles Sparks club. Everybody talking about Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker for obvious reasons. But how about Sydney Spencer with 4 threes in the first quarter?
Well, when you look at the talent like you talk about, Dave, down low, the defense has to, they're going to collapse in, but they have the presence of mind to make the kick out to Shannon Bobbitt. Now as the defense rotates, look who's open once again. Sydney Spencer, and Shannon Bobbitt finds the shooter, and Sydney Spencer's knocking him down.
44% from 3 last year for Spencer. And she lit up the Mercury last year at a career-high 24 against Phoenix a year ago. And Spencer also at 6'3", a tough matchup for opponents. And when you look at the length right now, you got Bobbitt out there is about 5 feet tall. Everybody else is over 6 feet tall. For Los Angeles.
You have Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, you got Jessica Bohr and Sydney Spencer. Now that makes up for the inches that you may not get from Shannon Bobbitt.
Closing seconds of the first quarter. Kathy Pondexter, the finals MVP from a year ago, lost the dribble. A stoppage of play. Los Angeles did have a foul to give, but that doesn't appear to be the reason for the stoppage, perhaps a clock issue. So they're checking out how much time should be on the clock right now. Entertaining first quarter so far here in Phoenix as the WNBA season tips off, the 12th campaign for the WNBA.
Well, we've gotten scoring from Cappy Pondexter, 3-point shooting from Sydney Spencer. That's opened up things. I think that's going to cause Phoenix to change their defense up, and I think we'll see more scoring now inside from Elisa Leslie.
Shave a couple seconds, 5.5 to go in the quarter. Here's Pondexter with the blow by. Mazzanti, the open 3. Got it at the buzzer!
Cappy Pondexter is showing that she can do it all. She was scoring from the perimeter. Then nice job of penetrating in, finding Kelly Mazzanti up top. Just like Coach Gaines drew it up.
Michael Cooper will talk with Heather Cox when we return. This presentation of the WNBA on ABC will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Welcome back to Phoenix, where the Mercury have a 3-point lead, now joined by Sparks head coach Michael Cooper. And Coop, after a slow start, what sparked a 10-0 run by you guys?
Well, we got to get our defense going. They got doing well in that zone, and we got to take away their 3-point attempts.
Only 4 points in the paint. How can you get more production inside?
Well, they're going to make it tough for us with their zone. They do a good job of collapsing. We just got to hit some shots like Sydney did, and if we do that, that'll open the zone up.
Coach, we'll let you get back to your team. Thank you.
Well, Carolyn, I don't know if Coach started out wanting a tuxedo and then changed his mind midway through with that suit, but quite a fashion statement from Michael Cooper today.
He is a sharp dresser every time out. And I think he's right when he was talking about Sydney Spencer has got to continue to hit outside shots. The Phoenix Mercury came out this time in a man-to-man as opposed to that zone to start the quarter.
Lisa Leslie with her second field goal. Taurasi misses a 3 on the other end. Going to be interesting to watch Lisa Leslie and just Her stamina over the course of a season, missed last year. Just 11 months ago, gave birth to a baby girl, Lauren.
I think it won't take long for Lisa Leslie to get back into the physical state she's used to. She was averaging 33 minutes a game in the 06 season.
And she played 6 minutes in the first quarter here today. Phoenix Mercury, the defending WNBA champions. Many think the Sparks will win it this year. But Phoenix picking up where it left off in that Detroit series in the finals. Just terrific offensive execution. They really got Paul Westhead's system last year. He's now moved on to Seattle in the NBA.
Well, and it is a system, and as Coach Corey Gaines talked about, you got to commit to, and the players understand it. They have a lot of the players returning from last year, and then the new elements that they've plugged in seem to just have fit right in sync.
The system that Taurasi loves. She knew she would love it when Paul Westhead got hired, and then Westhead joining P.J. Carlissimo with the Sonics, and Westhead's assistant with the Mercury, Corey Gaines, taking over as the head man. Shannon Bobbitt with the three. That's the 5th triple for Los Angeles already.
Stay down, that's it, Sid. Talk. Stay up on her with a hand up. Have a hand up.
On Dexter. Too strong there. Leslie clears. 4 rebounds for the all-time leading rebounder in the history of the WNBA, Lisa Leslie. Candace Parker, meanwhile, called for a carry. She didn't get called for that too often in college.
That might have been a highlight if the official hadn't stopped it.
Yeah, you're right.
Direct. Through, direct.
Pondexter picked up by Tamika Johnson. Pondexter so tough off the dribble, but unable to knock down that shot.
You think that fatigue may be playing a factor. A lot of the offense is being run through Cappie Pondexter right now, and you got to remember, it was less than 24 hours that she got off an airplane.
8 points, but all those coming very early as Candace Parker rattles home a 3. Her first WNBA triple. And she's 6'4", mind you.
Well, you talked about Lisa Leslie referring to her and saying that Candace Parker could play 1 through 5. We've seen her bring it in transition. We've seen her post down low, and now she's shown that she can knock down the 3-point shot.
When she was drafted, season tickets increased 7-fold from draft week for Los Angeles a year ago as Parker hits a 2 in transition. She's in double figures now with 10.
When you ask how good do you think she's going to be, she's pretty daggone good right now.
And LA is on an 8-0 run. Taurasi fouled. Tamika Johnson picks up her first and the first on LA here in the quarter.
You see Candace Parker bringing the ball down like a guard. Nice pull-up jumper.
Has the women's game seen anybody like Candace Parker in terms of her versatility? Anybody you compare her to?
I don't think so. Not with the level of where her game is right now. And you've got to look at the experience that she has. Playing for the University of Tennessee, 2 national championships. Playing with the World Championship team for USA Basketball. That international experience also helps to prepare her for this level. I don't think too many players have the resume of a Candace Parker.
People started talking about her as a senior in high school. I was there at the McDonald's All-American game when she won the slam dunk contest against the guys. 6.5 to go here in the second quarter. Los Angeles by 3. Parker somehow got it to Leslie, who slaps it in off the window.
She'll get credited for the assist, just the little tap over to Lisa Leslie.
She might have a triple-double in the first half. Parker's got 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and 10 points already. And Leslie with a block.
Is that a way to start your rookie season?
D'Angelo Smith, along with Lisa Leslie on the floor, and timeout was called. And now a conference for the officials. You can hear Michael Cooper calling for timeout.
There was no possession during the scrum. 22 on the shot clock. Cam.
It will be Los Angeles basketball. But no timeout was called, inadvertent whistle.
Well, it looked like what he thought was the official looked at the shot clock, thought that 10 seconds had expired because there's a 10-second backcourt in the WNBA. But then the officials came together, decided that there wasn't really a true possession. So they give the ball back to Los Angeles.
How about that dish by Parker? Pass was broken up, though. Leslie can't drop that one through. Ferris rebounds. And at times, Smith coming over to set a screen wasn't looking for the pass from Taurasi. Here's Parker for another three. Got it. Candace Parker with 13 points in the first half of her first ever WNBA game. She's got 8 in the quarter. Largest lead for LA. Mazzanti's three off the mark. Leslie with the rebound.
I asked Candace Parker if she was going to be nervous. Doesn't look like any nerves are affecting her.
Again, she's on her way to a triple-double. We're not even through a half. 13 points, 8 in the second quarter for the #1 overall draft pick out of Tennessee. She's wondering if LA is the team to beat this year.
I mean, if they lose a game, Michael Cooper should be fired. That's the bottom line. Leslie, Delisha, Candace, Marie Ferdinand, Tamika Johnson. And honestly, they have a great team. They really do. If they put it together, you're looking at a team that is pretty much unstoppable in every category.
Yeah, they look, Carolyn Peck, pretty good so far. As you see, Leslie missed last year on maternity leave. They bring Milton Jones back. Parker drafted Tamika Johnson, missed half of last season with an injury.
Well, I think that whole little recipe right there spells championship. When you look at Tamika Johnson coming back, you also have Shannon Bobbitt, who I think that they mirror each other. I think Bobbitt shoots the three a little bit better than Tamika Johnson, so that's an added factor. Diana talked about Marie Ferdinand Harris, who didn't play as many minutes as she probably would have liked to in San Antonio, and she brings the fresh leg speed defensively to the LA Sparks in that trade with Mwati Mobika to San Antonio.
Keisha Brown 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Michael Cooper really is the right guy to lead this type of a situation, isn't he? When you have to gel all these players and superstars, he seems to be the right coach to handle it.
Well, he's the type of coach I think can coach teams in a lot of different situations.
Phoenix has missed its last 8 shots from the field. Nice pass by Parker to Leslie. Leslie in double digits with 10 points, and Parker has 6 assists already in this contest. Her first WNBA game.
Well, talking about Michael Cooper, they only won 10 games last year, but he was very patient with that young team.
Pondexter off the mark. 9 straight missed shots by Phoenix. LA's opened up an 11-point lead. Parker finds the open player. Brown can't hit the three. Milton Jones maybe a push-off, but she got the rebound. Parker with the pull-up, missing over Pondexter.
Get one.
Angela Smith, who last year did hit 23s, but not able to connect there.
Well, I think that this is a situation where the Phoenix Mercury miss a player like Penny Taylor. The Sparks are able to move the basketball so well. And you think about the height we talked about, Lisa Leslie, Candace Parker, Delisha Milton, they're able to throw over the defense.
Los Angeles by 11. Back to Phoenix in a moment.
Celtics have been extremely good at home. Who do you pick?
I think because it's at home, you got to take Boston.
I would have to agree.
Although after what LeBron James did against the Pistons last year in the playoffs, you can't count out the Cavs, the defending Eastern Conference champs.
Yeah, but Kevin Garnett has stated that they are good at home. I think that gives that team a lot of confidence.
Home teams in the second round of the NBA playoffs, by the way, are 22-2. Wow. According to our own Pat McGrath. Meanwhile, Los Angeles on an 18-4 run this quarter, including 8 straight Spencer misses the three. Parker trying to keep it alive. And out of bounds to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is just tough to deal with inside on that rebounding series.
Touch your hand. No, he grabbed it first, then he looked at you. When you watch it, come out at halftime and tell me, okay?
The head coaching debut for Corey Gaines today. Was an assistant on the championship team a year ago. And taking over for Paul Westhead as Parker had that pass go through her hands. 8 LA turnovers. Taurasi with a nice feed to Ferris. Taurasi without a field goal, but still looking for her teammates.
Corey Gaines was trying to make the point, trying to get possession back. When you've got Delisha Milton, Candace Parker, and Lisa Leslie battling for boards inside, they have such a height advantage.
That field goal by Phoenix ends a drought of 5 minutes and 40 seconds without one. Here's Leslie, who's in double figures with now 12 points and 9 rebounds. And her first game back since 2006, sat out all of last year after giving birth to a baby girl.
Lauren Jolie.
And Lisa says her hands are huge, not Barbara Ferris's hands, who got the basket there, but Lisa's daughter. And now Lisa's 6'5", her husband Michael Lockwood, who's here behind the Spark bench. He's 6'7". Another basket for Leslie. She's got 14 now to lead all Sparks. There's Michael. Lisa's husband, 10 and a quarter for Leslie.
She doesn't look like she's that far away from the playing shape that she was in 2006.
Pretty amazing. And that's just something, for us guys that we just can't relate to. Missing a season because you have a baby. But just watching her today, it doesn't look like she's really missed a beat from 06 when she was the league MVP. Off with that shot. Parker got the rebound, her 8th, and she'll go to the line to shoot a pair of free throws.
You just look at what Lisa is able to do, and this is one of the things that has made her so great is her extension. She has those long arms, and she releases the ball at the top of her shot. It's tough to get to, tough to block.
Third foul on Tangela Smith, second on Phoenix here in the quarter. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
2-3.
Candace Parker will go to the line. Her and Lisa Leslie have developed a great friendship. And Leslie kind of feels like a mother figure towards Parker. And a mom, in a real sense, says it's really changed her outlook on life. Just says basketball, though it's still very important, not as important. You see her there with Lauren and husband Michael.
Is she not adorable? And Lisa said that she already can hold the WNBA basketball and pulls it away like she's protecting it from the defense. She's 11 months old.
Swinging the elbows already, and Lisa says her and Michael have both caught a few. Phoenix having trouble getting it across the midcourt line. And it's a 8-second backcourt violation.
Time too, because you have possession with 2 hands.
I made the mistake earlier, talked about a 10-second line. The WNBA, it is 8 seconds as opposed to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, they're following the NBA rule. Lisa Leslie with 14 points. Candace Parker with 13, 6 assists and 8 rebounds as well for Parker. Here's Tamika Johnson, a 2, drops in. And LA's lead back to 11.
LA's beefed up their defense. I think that's one of the really tactical parts of Michael Cooper's coaching.
Diana Taurasi with her first field goal, and it comes in the final minute and 20 of this first half. 7 points for Taurasi. She does have 3 assists. A rare 2 by Sydney Spencer. She actually shot under 40 from 2 last year and better than 40% from 3. And now with 14 points here in the game. Their first 2-point basket, 4 threes in the first quarter. What a spin by Conduct there. Leslie with a block, but she'll get called for a second personal foul, and the second on LA here in the period.
It's pretty some intimidating defense. You look at Lisa Leslie playing defense on Cappy Pondexter.
Are you the ultimate WNBA fan? Log on to WNBA.com now and share your passion for your team in the fan voice community. Sign up and play our exclusive WNBA Pick 1 fantasy game and challenge your friends and fellow fans now and through the rest of the regular season, all at WNBA.com. Laco Willingham at the line. Christy Thomas comes into the game for Los Angeles. Carolyn and Minnie think LA is the team to beat in the West. Do you think it's even close between the Sparks and some of the other competitors right now in the West and in the rest of the league?
Well, I think the Sparks are going to have to consistently shoot the ball from the perimeter. And that's where Michael Cooper talked about Sydney Spencer being the unsung hero or key for them winning a championship. In order to open up things on the inside, you've got to have somebody who can knock down that three-point shot, and that's Sydney Spencer.
And Candace Parker has shown that she can shoot the jumper as well. Jump ball. With 7 seconds on the shot clock for Los Angeles.
Well, LA has shown that they can shoot from the perimeter. They're 7 of 12 from the three-point line already in the first half.
And 4 of those threes by Sydney Spencer, who was 3rd in the league last year in three-point shooting as a rookie. Christy Thomas and Barbara Ferris will jump it up. 3 players in double figures for LA, led by Spencer and Leslie with 14 apiece. Parker has 13. Cappie Pondexter has 10 to lead Phoenix. And Pondexter gets the ball off the tip. Pondexter racing down court, got bumped by Milton Jones. And that's her second personal. 4th on LA. So they're on the penalty, and Pondexter will shoot 2. Pondexter, 82% foul shooter a year ago, was 8th in the league in scoring and was one of the best players in the entire playoffs a year ago. Coverage of the WNBA continues on ABC next Saturday. Last year's MVP, Lauren Jackson, and the Seattle Storm take on Becky Hammon and San Antonio. WNBA on ABC next Saturday at 3:30 Eastern Time. San Antonio lost to Phoenix in the conference finals a year ago. How do the Silver Stars shape up in the Western Conference?
Well, I think that they were a team that could challenge LA, but they lost Shauna Crosley, their three-point shooter, to an ACL. So replacing that perimeter shooting is something they're going to have to look for.
Here's Parker in the post. A left-hander over Taurasi. She made that one earlier. Couldn't score there. Oh, nice job by Johnson to find Christy Thomas, who was wide open on the low block. Under 10 seconds to go here in the half. Pondexter blows by Parker for the layup. And then Johnson fouled by Pondexter. Phoenix did have a foul to give, so good foul there with 2.6 on the clock.
Cappie went coast to coast, split the defense. She protected the ball, cradled it as she came in, split the defense, able to get up on the glass, a nice finish.
And Michael Cooper not happy with the rookie defense of Candace Parker there.
Well, the Matador defense is never pleasing to a coach. When you do that swat at it with the arm as the player drives by, coaches will not be happy about that.
Pondexter then picked up the foul.
Asked me, how come we can't stop the ball? How come we can't stop the ball?
Number one, we running it out backside, but ain't nobody picking it up.
How come we can't do that? Somebody got to see the ball. No, it's not your man, CP. It's everybody. 3 people.
There you go. Let's just take pride in our defense, all right? Whoever's on people, even if it's you.
Anything over top, you got to switch that. It's going to be a back kick switch going back.
You know they're probably going to pass the ball. They're just going to tip it to someone for it.
But they should be with their man. They can't back pick everybody. We all right. We all right. We missed 3 free throws in a row. And we down 9. We down 9. No problem. But listen.
All right, what's the play here if you're Corey Gaines? What are you drawing up his first real opportunity as a head coach for a buzzer beater situation?
If back pick, let's say it's a back pick. It's a hard switch. So here it goes. Here's the back pick. You're the defense. You make sure between her and the basket. All right? Call it out and switch. All right? Stay with your man.
Let's go. Get a stop. Let's go.
Well, what he talked about was switching on the screens. Don't want to get caught up on a back screen.
Oh, they just drive to the basket.
I think you got to have a lot of pressure on the ball right now.
Great numbers for Candace Parker in her WNBA debut and the return of Lisa Leslie. Parker also with a handful of assists, and actually 6 assists for Parker, so she's got a great chance at a triple-double. Only been done a few times in the history of this league. 2 seconds to go. The extra pass by Spencer. LA didn't even get a shot off. Still an impressive performance by the Sparks. In the opener of the 2008 season, they put up 51 first-half points and shoot 60% in the quarter. And here's Heather Cox.
And 13 points and 6 assists in Candace Parker's debut as a pro. Candace, any jitters?
No, my teammates just told me to go out there and play, and that's what we've done in the first half.
Was it what you expected so far playing professional basketball?
It's a lot more physical than I expected, but, you know, we just need to take care of business in the second half.
During that last timeout, Coop talked to you guys about letting the Phoenix Mercury get past you. Defensively, how do you guys need to improve in the second half?
Defensively, we need to stop and contest threes and stop penetration because Cappy's going through our man-to-man.
We'll let you get to the locker room. Thanks.
All right, Heather. Now Parker able to handle the physical play here in the WNBA rather easily. On pace for a triple-double. The IHOP halftime show is coming up. Ring ceremony today as the Phoenix Mercury received their rings from winning the championship last year. We'll also go live inside the locker rooms and highlights and stats from the first half. Los Angeles 51, Phoenix 42 at halftime.
HomeCourtEdge TV is here for your viewing pleasure. Please click that button as we strive for 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy this video.
Key single Superwoman off her new CD, As I Am. Pretty super debut. For one half, Candace Parker, nearly a triple-double. Los Angeles by 9 as we take a look at our Discover card Get in the Game highlights.
Candace Parker has shown just extreme versatility. You would think that a rookie coming in would be nervous, but when you have a veteran like Lisa Leslie on the floor with you, she's been able to get some stats in the assist category, finding Lisa down low, and then she's created some scoring of her own, bringing the ball down like a guard in transition, down low on the block, posting up, and then the pull-up jumper. And the only thing that we haven't shown, Dave, is her three-point shot that she was able to knock down.
Our Kohler first half stats. LA shot 49%, right around 60 for the second quarter. Parker and Leslie combining for 27 and 17 rebounds.
So I think the big difference is the rebounding, 11-point advantage for the LA Sparks.
Now let's check in with the third member of our crew, Heather Cox.
Well, everybody wondered, how would the Phoenix Mercury react? This is the first time they've played on the floor together since last year's championship. Diana Taurasi and Cappy Pondexter both returning from overseas. Diana spent the night in the hospital on Thursday with flu-like symptoms. Cappy returned at about 3 a.m. and had just 3 hours of sleep. After a hot start, Cappy has certainly slowed down since mid-first quarter, and Diana Taurasi is just 1 of 7 from the field. I talked to their head coach, Corey Gaines, and he said they definitely look fatigued. Both of them have looked like they've lost the lift, especially Cappy. Even on a layup, he said she couldn't even elevate. He will monitor them closely and pull them when he thinks there's just too much fatigue. He doesn't want to risk their health.
Well, he talked about that, Heather, in practice on Friday, that he was going to have to rotate them. He didn't talk about limiting exact number of minutes. He just had to keep an eye on them. And so I think he's got a good feeling for when they look fatigued, he's got to make a change.
Miller and Taurasi won a championship together with their team from Moscow, and Pondexter coming off that championship in Turkey. And Phoenix outscored LA in the first quarter, but the Sparks plus 12 on Phoenix in the second period.
Well, we talked to Diana Taurasi about her schedule, and she went from the WNBA, then she was with the USA national team. She said between now, back then to the championship and now, she had about a week break, went to Hawaii. After that, she was either playing with her team in Russia or she was with the USA national team, and then back to training camp.
And don't forget about the Olympics coming up this summer for many of these players. Packed house here at U.S. Airways Center for the debut of Candace Parker and also the handing out of the championship rings for the Mercury from their title a year ago. On a repeat. No team has done that since L.A. earlier this decade. Lisa Leslie with 14 points to lead L.A. in the first half. Missed the shot, but Pondexter could not control it.
Well, the Mercury started the half out in a man-to-man. You've got to believe that the Sparks spent a lot of time in the locker room talking about how to pick holes against Phoenix zone in that rover defense.
Ferdinand with the miss. Here's Miller in transition. Kelly Miller scores. And a foul on Leslie. That's a third on Lisa Leslie.
Well, this is what Kelly Miller does so well. And getting into the middle of the paint, making the defense have to commit to you. She does that so well.
Miller was third in the league last year in total assists, and she was second among WNBA guards in field goal percentage, and got to be able to shoot in this offense. And she had a terrific year last season. Now a Phoenix foul, and that's on Taurasi. Can't believe the call. That's only her first personal.
Diana Taurasi got into foul trouble in the playoffs in the final series against Detroit. And she really showed how valuable she is. Leave her on the floor.
Taurasi with a steal and then an errant pass, although Taurasi claiming it was touched by Los Angeles. And it will remain Phoenix basketball. Taurasi with only one field goal in the first half. That one down. Taurasi third in the league in scoring last year, leading them to a championship. Parker missed the easy layup. And now a foul called on Ferdinand Harris. That's only her first. Second on LA here in the quarter.
Phoenix is only getting double-digit scoring from Cappie Pondexter.
If you grab her, she's going for a layup. There's nobody else in front of her.
Diana only has 7.
Come on, G.
That's Corey Gaines, the new head coach of the Phoenix Mercury, taking over for Paul Westhead, who left to be an assistant with the Seattle Supersonics. Nice drive and score by Taurasi.
You hear Coach Gaines talking to Diana, take it at Lisa Leslie. She has 3 fouls.
And a timeout called by Michael Cooper as Phoenix is crept back in within 4. Diana Taurasi showing off her skills, driving to the basket. Sparks, led by Candace Parker, have a 4-point lead on Phoenix, and a lot of celebrities turning out to watch Parker's debut, among other things. The greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, in the crowd, being honored right now here at U.S. Airways Center. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Donovan McNabb, who spends his offseason training here in the Phoenix area. And Amari Stoudemire of the Phoenix Suns, his season over, taking in today's game. And it could be over for the Boston Celtics tomorrow, believe it or not. Another Game 7. They take on the Cleveland Cavaliers on ABC at 3 Eastern time. Winner moves on to play Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics have won all their home games and lost all of their road games so far in the postseason. Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi matching up here today. And Candace Parker so far with 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in her WNBA debut.
Diana may give up a few inches, but defensively, she can really be physical.
Parker hacked there by Taurasi. That's the second on D and the second team foul on Phoenix. And Parker will go to the free throw line. He is just 1 of 3 at the stripe so far. Candace Parker, the #1 overall pick, won back-to-back NCAA championships at Tennessee, got her degree. She left early. She could have 1 more year of eligibility, but because she got her degree, she wanted to go play professionally.
Well, she left early because she had a year left that she could play, but she did spend 4 years at the University of Tennessee in her graduating class, and she finished with her degree.
Had a knee injury her freshman season. Been able to bounce back from that and also play through a left shoulder injury that she dislocated a couple of times in the NCAA tournament, but fought through that to win a championship. Pondexter has such a great handle. What a move, and she's fouled.
I gotta give D a sub, though.
Cappy does such a terrific job of attacking and either having the ability to score or get herself to the free throw line, and that time she's able to do both.
You get Tamika Johnson for the foul. Looked like Ferdinand might have been the one that committed, but against Johnson, Pondexter can't convert, but Wilmette Crockett with the rebound. Now they're going to get Ferdinand Harris for the foul on, nope, actually Candace Parker. That's her first person. And the 14th foul on LA.
Well, when you have a player like Cappy Pondexter on your team and she can attack the basket, that makes the defense have to collapse in, which would open up things on the perimeter.
Taurasi fouled by Milton Jones. And so LA in the penalty. We played less than 2 minutes, and Phoenix will shoot free throws the rest of the quarter.
Get to the hole. Get to the cup. Get to the basket. We're in the bonus. Get to the
Third
basket.
on Milton Jones. Taurasi to the line.
Well, Marianne Stanley talked about with the Sparks in the locker room, you can't trade, 2 for 2 they can win, but not 2 for 3. But I think the free throw line can be as damaging as the three-point line for the Phoenix Mercury.
First miss for Taurasi coming up on NBA TV tonight. Washington will take on Indiana, followed by San Antonio at Sacramento. Sacramento in action at Seattle on Tuesday. Coverage beginning at 10 Eastern on ESPN2. And then ABC a week from today, Seattle at San Antonio with coverage beginning at 3:30. A lot of people think Seattle will contend for the WNBA championship along with teams like Los Angeles and Phoenix. Steal by Crockett and a layup on the other end to tie the game at 52. What a start to the third quarter by the Mercury. Johnson misses the layup and out of bounds off LA.
Crockett does a nice job of getting in the passing lane, and you would think Lisa Leslie would run her down, but she doesn't even contest the shot.
Good minutes by Crockett so far in this game for Phoenix. A 10-1 start by the Mercury here in the third quarter. Kelly Mazzanti at a couple of first-half threes. And now Pondexter again off the dribble where she's most dangerous. Drives on Leslie. And she'll go to the line.
Get to the basket. I don't know. I'm giving you a little.
Keisha Brown commits her first personal.
I mean, you've got Kelly Mazzanti on the perimeter. You have Miller on one side, and then you have Tangela Smith that can shoot the three. That spreads the defense out. And then when you have a player like Cappy Pondexter who can do what she does, you've got to make a decision. Do you let her go, or do you have to collapse in off three-point shooters? And Cappy does a nice job of finding the open people.
Pondexter last year averaged 4 assists and 17 points, was the WNBA Finals MVP. Coming off 3 hours sleep and a trip from Turkey, got in the wee hours of the morning last night after some flight troubles. Another Phoenix steal. Head coach Corey Gaines says that's why they won the championship last year. You wouldn't know it by some of their defensive stats, but he says their defense was really key. They were third in the league in field goal defense, but gave up the most points in the WNBA.
But they also scored the most points. And with the number of possessions that they like to have.
Cut through! Cut through!
You see and hear Michael Cooper shouting out commands. Parker gets the bounce.
Hey,
pretty.
Y'all calling fouls. You better call it down here when she got it.
16 now for Parker. Cooper wanted her to have an opportunity to make it 17, but did not get the call there. And a blocking foul on Ferdinand Harris, her second personal. More free throws for Pondexter coming up. Might set the record for the longest quarter in WNBA history. That's what, 7 fouls already on LA in 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Pondexter 3 of 5 so far at the line.
I think the philosophy of Corey Gaines right now, too, is to continue to attack the basket, understanding that some of his key players are fatigued, and if they don't have the lift on their shot, then you want to play the odds and attack the basket.
Pondexter grew up in the Chicago area, was a huge Michael Jordan fan, and Pondexter went to Rutgers, played for C. Vivian Stringer, and was a very fiery player there. Some run-ins with Gino Auriemma, the head coach at Connecticut. Pondexter never wanted to back down from anybody. And some say it's arrogant that she had a WNBA tattoo on her arm, but I'll tell you what, she backed it up. Finals MVP last year, just her second season as a pro. Parker with the spin. Off the mark, Miller with the rebound. Pondexter in transition. Constant energy for Pondexter. Missed the three. Parker the rebound. Ninth board for Parker. Oh, what a pass. Ferdinand Harris blew the layup, though. And then she threw it away. Pondexter got it. Swatted away by Lisa Leslie. And we'll bring it out.
We talked about no fear.
Oh, a three by Pondexter. Forget pulling it out, she said.
She got it blocked twice by Lisa Leslie down low, then pops out to the three-point line and is not afraid to pull the trigger.
9 in the quarter, 22 in the game for Cappy Pondexter.
Cappy does a nice job. She's not afraid. You don't want to miss this one. The champs are back.
I'm a sophomore guard at the University of Pennsylvania. Been training with HomeCourtEdge for almost 10 years now. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on all of HC's social media channels, and stay tuned for our journey.
Welcome back to Phoenix. In the Los Angeles huddle, Delisha Milton-Jones trying to fire up her teammates as they have blown a 9-point halftime lead. Phoenix now leads by 5. Cappy Pondexter having a huge quarter, now 22 points in the game. And more pressure on Pondexter and Diana Taurasi this year without Penny Taylor. She was an MVP candidate, Carolyn Peck, last year, but will spend the first part of the season in Australia with the national team getting ready for the Olympics. Could return after the Olympics are over. Here are Diana Taurasi's thoughts on playing without Penny Taylor, perhaps, for the entire 2008 season.
Yeah, obviously Penny is a big part of what we did last year. You know, one of the best players in the world, hands down. And for her not to come back obviously changes things, you know, for the coaching staff and for the players. But I always think when you miss, you know, a player, some way a team gels and kind of, you know, reconstructs itself to kind of fill that void. So, I mean, I'm not worried. We have great competitors on this team, and we should go out and play.
And I think that the Phoenix Mercury, a lot of times when you are, number one, taken away, you're the defending champions, but everybody has picked the LA Sparks to win. Then you're at a disadvantage because one of your top players, post players, isn't going to be with you at least through until the Olympics. Your focus turns up. Cappy Pondexter is showing that she can pick up the slack without the scoring of Penny Taylor right now.
And doing it on 3 hours sleep, Cappy Pondexter. Another miss by LA, 1 of 8 now in the quarter, and 5 turnovers. Taurasi spotting up. Hands a three. What a turnaround in 4.5 minutes from down 9 to up 8. The largest lead of the game for Phoenix.
Right now, the Phoenix Mercury really are controlling everything that they want to do. First, offensively attacking the basket. Now, Taurasi's getting hot, scoring from the outside.
Ferdinand with a bounce. Mother to mother. Ferdinand Harris, who 2 years ago missed the season on maternity leave, finds Lisa Leslie, who sat out last year, having a baby.
Kelly Miller does a nice job of finding Taurasi. The momentum has swung in the favor of the Phoenix Mercury. But on the other end, where the Sparks need to go to is inside. Get the ball to Lisa Leslie, and she's able to finish.
Second foul on Barbara Ferris, third on Phoenix. Lisa Leslie with 16. Make it 17 points for the MVP 2 years ago. Didn't get a chance, though, to defend her right as the most valuable player. Lauren Jackson won it while Leslie was away last year. Taurasi starting to catch fire. 15 points now for Diana Taurasi.
Well, you can tell Coach Corey Gaines wants whoever Lisa Leslie is guarding to attack the basket, trying to get her in foul trouble, send her to the bench.
8 points in the quarter for Taurasi. Leslie finds Ferdinand Harris, and she'll go to the line. 14 foul against the Mercury. Third on Diana Taurasi. So Ferdinand Harris, we mentioned, had a baby, Cedric Michael Harris Jr., 2 years ago, and he was back in San Antonio last year. Took her a while to get going, and a career low, 5 points per game, but she's a 3-time All-Star. Could play a major role this year for Los Angeles. Gets the first free throw coming up next Saturday on ABC. Coverage of the WNBA continues. We mentioned Lauren Jackson won the MVP award last year. And a retooled Storm team will take on San Antonio with coverage beginning at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
We were talking about Marie Ferdinand Harris coming back, and she really replaces the LA Sparks had Mwati Mabika. Now you have Marie Ferdinand. Got some younger legs. She still has that speed and quickness to defend.
A terrific athlete. Here's Candace Parker. What a move on the baseline, 1-on-2. Are you kidding me? 18 points in her first ever WNBA game. She's 4 assists and a rebound shy of a triple-double, and we've got 14 minutes plus to go.
Then she makes a great move on the baseline, takes Kelly Mazzani off the dribble, and then on the inbound, she's a one-man press. Causes the turnover. So she showed us a little offense and a little defense.
You ever seen a player her size be able to handle the basketball the way she does?
No.
And it's interesting, too, because there were some people that thought that Sylvia Fowles is a great player. In fact, she won the SEC Player of the Year over Candace Parker, but there were some that thought, well, maybe it'll turn out that way, that Sylvia Fowles will be a better pro than Candace Parker. No basket there, says Cameron Inouye. There's a foul in Willingham, but boy, you just see the overall skill of Candace Parker and the diversity in her game, and it's hard to believe that anybody would think anybody's better than her coming out this past year.
Well, I think that they're going to affect the game in 2 different ways. Candace Parker's got the ability to also do things out on the perimeter, where Sylvia Fowles, there's not a physical specimen playing in the WNBA that's her size, that can do the things, alter shots, and the ability to finish. Candace Parker's going to be able to do more on the perimeter.
You see the rookie record for points in a game, 23, and Parker has struggled at the free throw line. She's just 2 of 7. Otherwise, she'd have the record, but it ends up in Shannon Bobbitt's hands, a fellow rookie and a former teammate of Parker's at Tennessee. There's no question Fowles is going to be a great player. And you were saying yesterday she might have a Shaquille O'Neal-type impact on the women's game, as there's a Phoenix foul. If that's Taurasi, that's 4. It is.
Well, the reverse has happened. First, Coach Corey Gaines was trying to go at Lisa Leslie, get her to the bench. But then Diana Taurasi, one of his main scorers now, has got herself into foul trouble and got to go take a seat.
So as you look at Lisa Leslie, what about Fowles' game is different from Lisa Leslie's game?
I think that Fowles is more of a dominant power inside. Lisa has a lot of moves, a lot of finesse to her game. Not that she doesn't have power to her game, because she has that, but the strength and the dominance that Sylvia Fowles has shown in college is going to even grow and get better in the WNBA.
Fowles the number 2 pick by Chicago. Los Angeles took Parker with the number 1 pick. A 9-2 run by Parker and the Sparks. Pondexter spins that one out. Lisa Leslie now with a double-double. 17 points, 10 rebounds in her first game back to the league. And Leslie fires the 3. Mazzanti clears. Phoenix by 1, 3.5 to go. We've had 13 fouls called here in the third quarter. A very physical game, and you heard Candace Parker at halftime say that's one thing that surprised her about her first WNBA half, as Leslie ties up Willingham.
And Mercury continued to try to attack and go at Lisa Leslie. And one of the things that the Mercury have had to play without was Tangela Smith in foul trouble. She had 3 fouls and had to take a seat. That's another size and a 3-point shooter that's had to go to the bench.
You know, Carolyn, it's been interesting watching the facial expressions of Lisa Leslie as this game has gone along. She told us yesterday, I'm going to have more fun now. Now that I've had a daughter, yeah, I'm still focused, but basketball isn't as important. She was smiling in warm-ups, had a big smile on her face, was smiling during the first half. That smile's been gone since she came out of the locker room at halftime.
Well, one thing that she did say is was that she was going to, have a little more fun, but she's still focused. And she is a fierce competitor. She wants to win. It doesn't matter if it's the first game of the regular season.
Ariel Page knocks down the jump shot. LA back up 1. Third man with the find. Here's Yuko Oga in transition. That's why they like her here in Phoenix. Gets up the floor quickly, not afraid to pull the trigger.
Get it out, get it out, set it up.
Leslie with a handoff to Bobbitt. And a carry is called on Bobbitt.
Look at Yuko Oga. If you're going to make the team for the Phoenix Mercury, you have to know and have the ability to score and score quick.
Only the second player ever from Japan to make it in the WNBA. There's Oga again, and she's fouled by Lisa Leslie, and that's her fourth.
That's called flopping. You know how to flop.
So Oga will go to the free throw line. Signed a training camp contract. As you look at Paul Westhead, former head coach of the Mercury. And Corey Gaines spent some time in Japan in his playing days. He spent 12 years overseas. And a friend sent a tape of Oga, said, you need to look at this player. And brought her in from Japan, signed a contract in March. And she's made the roster. Candace Parker back on the floor for Los Angeles.
Match up.
And Leslie with 4 fouls to the bench.
You would think that there would be more of a difference in the production when you have a veteran like Lisa Leslie and then you have a rookie coming in, Candace Parker, but their numbers are very similar. It's as if Candace Parker's been playing in this league as long as Lisa has.
17 points, 10 rebounds for Leslie, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists for Candace Parker. Page calling for it, instead Bobbitt, and she traveled. Her first game in the WNBA, second-round pick out of Tennessee. Michael Cooper calls her the ankle breaker, and she does have a wicked crossover, but she's turned it over twice, trying that on Oga. That's the 7th turnover in the quarter for LA. Tough shot by Pondexter, and it was in and out. And a double-double for Parker now. 10 rebounds, 18 points, and 4 assists shy of a triple-double. She'll go back to the line. Only 2 of 7 from the stripe, but she was fouled there. That's 2 on Willingham, both teams in the penalties.
Don't overplay her. Keep her in front of you and work her.
You look at these two players and the number comparison, and what was your math? 13 years difference in age?
And Parker 22, Leslie 35, although she might not appreciate us saying that on national TV. And there's Sheldon Williams, that's Candace's fiance, member of the Sacramento Kings, and Candace's mom in attendance. I guess she had to buy some purple shirts. She probably had mostly orange
and white
in all those Tennessee games. The family grew up in Naperville, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. Well, Parker says she's a big city girl. She says she fits in better in LA than she did in Knoxville. Pondexter off a great Willingham screen, and she knocks it down. What a pick sent by LaCoe Willingham, and Pondexter used it wisely. She's got 24, 11 in the period. Milton Jones connects over Willingham.
I think that Delisha Milton-Jones gets overshadowed by Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie, but she averaged almost 17 or over 17 points a game for the Washington Mystics last season.
Milton Jones won a couple titles in Los Angeles before being involved in the Shamiqua Holtzclaw trade in 05. Holtzclaw retired early in the season last year for LA. Offensive foul called on Ferris, her 3rd.
Well, nice. That's a nice screen set by LaCoe Willingham there for Cappy Pondexter to curl off, and then Oga finds her. Timing's perfect to get the ball to your score.
11 in the quarter for Pondexter. Phoenix by 1. A minute to go here in the 3rd. Michael Cooper screaming for Bobbitt to find Candace Parker. And good defense by Phoenix. LA ball with 4 to shoot.
Meek, let's go. Pass and cut through. We got line.
Cooper going to Tamika Johnson here. Replacing Bobbitt.
Hey, Mike, watch it. They're doubling in on it. Fouling the arm.
Here's Parker. Oh, what a find. How about that for a rookie with time winding down the shot clock? Could have forced it against a double team, finds a wide open Page.
Well, Candace Parker's just giving you a taste of how exciting she's going to be to watch all season long.
7 assists for Candace Parker. Now 3 assists shy of a triple-double in her first WNBA game. Pondexter's 3 not there. Another rebound for Parker, her 11th. Here she goes in transition. Johnson tried to get it back to Parker, threw it away, but it ends up in the hands of Ferdinand Harris, who scores. LA by 3, 15 seconds to play here in the third.
Got to look for Kelly Mazzani to get a shot.
Instead, Pondexter scores, 26 for her. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. LA by 1. Johnson did get the shot off, but it won't count. LA led by 9 going into the third, but Corey Gaines' team battled back within 1. Corey Gaines will join Heather Cox when we return.
Joined by Mercury head coach Corey Gaines. And coach, what specific adjustments did you guys make to cut that 9-point halftime deficit?
Well, I told the players that we were missing a couple of easy shots, but the main thing was rebounding. They out rebounds by 11 rebounds the first half. If we get those rebounds, that gives us the opportunity to run. If they get them, that's second chance shots.
How concerned are you with what Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker are doing in this game so far?
I'm not concerned at all. We need to do what we do, which is run, rebound, and go.
Thanks so much, coach.
Corey Gaines, a lot like his teacher and former coach, Paul Westhead. Run, score, and then do it some more.
Well, and I think he made a great point. It was the rebounding that was the difference. And if they get the basketball, that creates opportunities for them to run.
And the rebounds were even in the third quarter as you see Kathy Pondexter going through some cramping, we're being told. Phoenix took an 8-point lead as you see Paul Westhead, who is here for the ring ceremony today, led them to a championship last year, and now with old friend P.J. Carlissimo in Seattle as an assistant on Carlissimo's staff. Long year for the Sonics, but great young players, Kevin Durant, Jeff Green. Be a fun team to watch going forward. Leslie with another block, already a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 rejections for Leslie.
Phoenix is staying with the same mentality of attacking the basket.
They had 30 points in the third quarter. Tarasi missed the 3. She's got 15 for the game. Pondexter, the leading scorer for the Mercury, with 26.
Yeah, this is a matchup. You have Lisa Leslie guarding Diana Taurasi.
Angela Smith can't score out of bounds off of Phoenix.
Angela Smith spent all of the third quarter on the bench. She had 3 fouls, didn't want her to get into foul trouble, and she's another 3-point threat.
Come on, me!
And look who's bringing up the ball. Candace Parker at 6'4". She leads the team in assists with 7 in this game. Anything that surprised you about what you've seen from her, that she's done better than you thought she would?
Well, I think just her composure with her first rookie real game. She's played some preseason games, but her first true rookie game, she's played like she's been in this league for 4 or 5 years.
She's got 8 assists now as Johnson connects. 20 points and 11 rebounds for Parker, so she's 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Ferdinand Harris missed the layup. And now Phoenix with numbers. Here's Miller. Crockett on the baseline. Parker commits the second foul. And that's the first on LA in the quarter. Parker leads the team in rebounding, scoring, and assists so far today.
What if as a rookie she got a triple-double in her debut?
And there haven't been many triple-doubles, period, in the history of the league, as Taurasi now has 17 points. Only 1 field goal in the first half, but 4 baskets in the second half.
Diana Taurasi has 4 fouls, so guarding Candace Parker, she's going to play smart to stay in the game.
And Crockett commits a foul there, trying to guard Lisa Leslie.
Hey, 5 high! CP, 5 high!
Second foul on Crockett.
5.
I'd watch for a back screen for Lisa Leslie. A little alley-oop possibly to the basket.
There it is.
Oh, she could throw it.
Good job by Miller on the switch there, and an offensive foul called on the screen on Delisha Milton-Jones. That's her 4th personal. LA by 1, 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. And the season opener in the WNBA. Phoenix, the defending champs. LA coming off a 10-win season, tied for the worst record in the league, but didn't have Leslie. Obviously didn't have Candace Parker as a rookie. Tangela Smith, a key pickup last year before the championship run. Another good outing today, 10 points. And we have a Phoenix foul on the other end. That's on Crockett again. That's her 3rd, and the 2nd on Phoenix in the period.
We're talking about Tangela Smith. The general manager and Myers Drysdale made the decision to trade the #1 pick, which was Lindsey Harding, in order to acquire the rights of Tangela Smith. And everybody thought, man, what's happening there? But Tangela Smith fits perfectly into Paul ball of getting up and down. She's a post that can run and also shoot the 3.
Mika Johnson, 69% foul shooter a year ago. Coming up on Monday, June 2nd, 12 players will be on a mission, but one of them will try to sabotage them all. It's the summer's biggest mystery, and you can play along. Who is the Mole? Season premiere Monday, June 2nd on ABC. Game back in LA's favor, 77-76.
Happy Pondexter's having to take a break right now on the bench. Look for Phoenix to come back to her, go back to her.
Crockett scores on Parker, and Candace Parker picks up her 3rd foul.
Nice post up down low. Crockett's able to pick up the slack. We talked about not having Penny Taylor inside, but Crockett's doing it down low, posting up and scoring over Candace Parker.
Crockett, a rookie for Connecticut. Tough shoes to fill. Penny Taylor staying with the Australian national team in preparation for the Olympics. Taylor said she could return to the Mercury after the Olympic break.
When we talk about the Mercury not having Penny Taylor, they also do not have Belinda Snell, who is staying over and playing with the Australian national team.
Snell, a contributor on the championship run last year. Here's Parker off the Leslie screen. Leslie slipped. Crockett and Leslie tied up and have a jump ball. And Leslie a little shaken up. 4 seconds to shoot. Should LA get the ball here? Actually, they reset the shot clock to 5 seconds when it's inside of 5 and you have a held ball. So 5 seconds on the shot clock. As you see Lisa's husband, Michael Lockwood. Proud parents of Lauren Leslie, who was born last June. Milton Jones with the easy basket off the jump ball. Miller ahead to Mazzanti around Leslie. Can't bank it in. And cleared by Lisa Leslie. Parker got position down low. And Candace Parker with 22 for the Sparks.
And there was nothing that Diana Taurasi could do with 4 fouls. She had to just stand there.
Go get her, go get her, go get her.
Taurasi. And a Phoenix turnover. Here's Parker in transition. Parker can't score, but she'll go to the free throw line.
No, she's going to get you a layup if you go to the hoop.
You watch Candace Parker running in transition, and she gave the sign to Tamika Johnson. I'm running, give it to me.
Mazzanti commits to foul her first.
You got Pondexter.
And Parker will go to the free throw line. You could hear Michael Cooper saying that to Delisha Milton-Jones, go to the basket. Parker will find you. She's already got 8 assists, and maybe even surprising Michael Cooper in terms of her ability to find her teammates. She has struggled at the line, though, just 4 of 9. And she has tied the WNBA record for most points in her rookie debut. Pretty darn good company there. Look at that. Tamika catching, Stacey Dales, Dawn Staley, Taurasi at 22 in her first game.
And Dave, there's over 6 minutes left.
And now she's got 24, sets the record.
Not too much, Mario. Not too much.
Living up to the hype. 11 rebounds as well, and 8 assists. 6 straight points for LA. Another turnover. Barbara Ferris took an inadvertent elbow to the face. Parker off the bounce, banks it in. 26 for Candace Parker.
Wow.
6 in the quarter for Parker. And now a Los Angeles foul on Tamika Johnson, her third. Third team foul on LA. Parker grabbing the right shoulder. Left one gave her problems in the NCAA tournament, had a couple of dislocations. Will that be the most difficult adjustment for her, dealing with the physical nature, playing 34 games? So that's about what you play in college, but your games are a little bit closer together as opposed to college, a little more spread out.
Well, yeah, because sometimes you have 2-3 games in a week, back-to-backs, and travel. And you're going to travel, like in Tennessee, they have charters. And, you know, you can leave that night after the game. You got to wait on commercial in the WNBA.
And we don't have to wait on Candace Parker to show what she can do. Her debut, and she's 2 assists shy of a triple-double. Set the rookie record for points in a game. 26 in her. Taurasi's first ever WNBA game back in 2004. Taurasi fresh off 3 straight national titles at Connecticut. May 20th, 2004 at 22 points. Meanwhile, Candace Parker today with 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. We still got 6 minutes to play.
I think the future is bright for Candace Parker. You know, this is just her first game, first real WNBA game, not counting the exhibition games. 26 points plus. I'm sure she's not finished.
No WNBA player has ever had a triple-double in her debut. There's only been a few triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Only one NBA player had a triple-double in his debut as they get the follow-up by Tangela Smith after the miss by Taurasi. Big O missed a triple-double himself. Oscar Robertson, the only NBA player to have a triple-double in his first NBA game back in 1960. Here's Parker. Some contact there, but no foul called. It will stay LA basketball.
Well, if Candace is to get a triple-double, she would add to only 3 players, active players, who currently have a triple-double. One's in this game, and Lisa Leslie, and then you have Deanna Nolan of the Detroit Shock and Cheryl Swoops, who now is playing for the Seattle Storm.
Los Angeles leads by 4. No Sydney Spencer in the second half. She hadn't played at all after 14 points in the first half, including 4 threes. Tamika Johnson lets the shot clock run out there. And Spencer's still a cheerleader, even though she has not seen any action here in the second half.
You know, Dave, I even thought coming into this game, this was going to be an LA Sparks show. They were going to dominate, especially with Phoenix not having Penny Taylor. But Phoenix has shown that they can find other ways and do different things without Penny. They're right where they want to be.
Kathy Pondexter on 3 hours sleep, coming from Turkey, getting in at 3 a.m. Only has 28 points and 5 assists. Just crazy how some of these players who play all year, games all year. Unlike any other sport professionally where you've got a year-round league, essentially, with players going overseas and all the travel that's involved, coming in at 28 points is ridiculous. And a miss by Smith. Here's Parker. And a foul by Taurasi. That's her 5th. That's the 14th foul on Phoenix here in the 4th quarter. Taurasi herself coming from Russia. In fact, all that travel and not getting a lot of sleep caused her to end up in the hospital because of a stomach virus. She was able to beat that and drive from California to Phoenix on Wednesday. Only got a couple practices into the team. Shot clock at 5. Entry pass to Leslie. And Leslie called for the loose ball foul. That's her 5th. LA 85, Phoenix 83. Great debut for Candace Parker. Terrific performance by Lisa Leslie in her return to the league after sitting out last year on maternity leave. Had a baby daughter in June. She'll go to the bench right now as Christy Thomas comes in.
You're talking about Cappy getting off the plane, 3 hours of sleep, coming to play. Now, that's not coming into an average game. I mean, you look at the style of ball that Phoenix plays, getting up and down the floor.
Taurasi with 19 points now, and we're tied again at 85 with 4 minutes to play. A 6-0 run by Phoenix. The defending WNBA champs. No team has won back-to-back titles since LA did it in 01 and 02. What a move by Candace Parker. 28 now for her.
Well, Diana Taurasi guarding Candace Parker. She's pretty much got to give her a step because she doesn't want to come out of the game because she's in foul trouble, because she would foul out. She only has one left.
There's Pondexter. And she's fouled. That's her 15th foul by LA, so they're in the penalty.
Like the timing, the way Cappy finds Diana right off the screen, and Diana's ready to go right into her shot. And then she's on the defensive end. She can't do too much because it'll be over for her to be able to play. She only has one more foul left to give.
How many players going to be able to guard Candace Parker as Pondexter misses the first free throw? Time now for today's game summary presented by Discover Card. Parker 6 of 11 at the free throw line, and she still has 28 points. Phoenix with 30 points in the third quarter. So get back in this game. They were down 9 at halftime.
They've changed up now and put LaCole Willingham on Candace Parker instead of Diana Taurasi. But now I've got to believe that the LA Sparks they can still go down low to Delisha Milton. She's a 3-time WNBA All-Star. She was voted to start last season.
Get out, Lee! Get out! Get out!
Here's Parker off the dribble on Willingham. No contest and the foul. 30 points for Candace Parker.
There's not too much you can do about that. She is a matchup nightmare. If you try to put a guard on her, she's going to beat you because she's got the height advantage. You put a post on her, she has the ability to take you off the dribble and use her agility. There's not an easy matchup to try to guard Candace Parker.
Another missed free throw, though, just 6 of 12 from the line, but LA gets it back. 10 in the quarter for Parker, and they got Kelly Miller on Candace Parker right now. And Parker wisely backs her down, draws a triple team. Milton Jones will rise and hit. LA leads by 5 under 3 to play.
Just cannot forget about Delisha Milton. You talk about Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie, but with Lisa on the bench now in foul trouble, Delisha Milton can very easily pick up the slack.
Pondexter fading away, can't score. Milton Jones with the rebound. Parker calling for it. Instead, Johnson will draw the foul on Barbara Ferris. That's her fourth. LA leads Phoenix by 5 behind 30 points for Candace Parker. Reason why she's got 10 in the period. As we take a look at our McDonald's quality play of the game, Parker at her best.
Well, going off the dribble, going right at Diana Taurasi, there's not too much you can do about that right there. And Candace just has such a height advantage and able to drive to the basket, finish the middle.
McDonald's a big supporter of the WNBA and WNBA Tip-Off Week. Its logo found on all the WNBA jerseys throughout the league. Parker 4 of 4 from the field here in the period. What a debut. Just 2 assists shy of a triple-double at age 22. The rookie out of Tennessee, #1 overall draft pick. 2 straight national championships at Tennessee, and now perhaps a shot at a WNBA championship. Hey, Diana Taurasi said if Michael Cooper loses 1 game, he should be fired. I don't know if I go that far, but LA certainly, based on what we've seen out of Parker and Lisa Leslie, looking at least close to back to form from 2 years ago when she was the MVP, then sat out last year. It's going to be the team to beat in the West.
Well, and people have projected that Candace Parker should probably get the accolade of Rookie of the Year this year, but putting up these kind of numbers, she could very easily be Player of the Year.
Yeah, certainly after game one, got to consider her one of the better players in the league right now, based on what you've seen here in this game. Let's check in with Heather Cox.
Guys, during that last huddle, Sparks coaching staff all went to Candace Parker. Shocker, they told her expect the double team, maybe the triple even, and they also prepared for what to do if Phoenix goes to zone. Then Lisa Leslie, even though she's on the bench, took over. She gathered her team, said we've got 2.5 minutes to play defense and communicate. That's how we win this game. And as I said that, Lisa walking up to check back into the game, guys.
And they need Leslie because Phoenix is within 2. Robert Sarver, the team owner, enjoying this comeback by the Mercury. They're down 9 at halftime. Closing in on the 2-minute mark here in the fourth. Parker standing behind the three-point line. Gave it up that time.
And Phoenix went back to a zone.
Muriel Page off the mark. Milton Jones does so many different things for you. She can score. She can play defense. Be physical.
Rebound. Just so many different things.
Second big basket by Muriel Page here in the second half. And LA back up 4.
Muriel Page and Alicia Milton played together in college at Florida. Then they did spend a little time together, I think, in Washington. And now they're back together in LA.
Kathy Pondexter with 29 points, but that one was halfway down and out. Jump ball as Willingham ties up Christy Thomas.
When you look at Diana Taurasi, talk about some competitors on the floor, and she hits big shots at big times. And then Muriel Page, she's in this league and has lasted as long as she has because she can hit key baskets like that, defend, and like Delisha Milton, be a strong rebounder.
And a violation on the tip by Willingham, so actually a foul on Willingham is called. That's her fourth. And both teams in the penalty. So Thomas will go to the line. 30 points for Candace Parker, 17 for Lisa Leslie, 29 for Pondexter, and 22 for Diana Taurasi. The lead Phoenix. Free throws, though, have really hurt LA today. Otherwise, it would have a larger lead, just 16 to 25. And another miss.
I can guarantee you what Coach Cooper's going to work on.
She shot 76% from the foul line last year, Thomas did, when she was the starting center in the absence of Lisa Leslie. 94-89, Los Angeles, with a minute 16 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Pondexter on the drive. What a block by Candace Parker. It'll stay Phoenix ball, but how about that play defensively by Parker?
Pondexter tried to go back to what was successful for her in that third quarter. But the timing that Candace Parker and the extension she has, she was able to deny that layup.
Yeah, now I'm throwing ball because that's the down pick, right?
They want her to drive and kick it to Diana.
Well, that's whoever that big is got to get down slide the feet. But we can't help because all of them shooting threes. Okay? Come on, y'all, let's go with good defense.
Now Michael Cooper encouraging his troops. Candace Parker, everybody's been hyping her up for good reason, as we've seen today. What's impressed you the most about her?
I think it's her composure, Dave. She's done such a great job today of really playing settled in. She looks like a veteran out there. Yeah. She is at ease out there as Lisa is, and Lisa's been in the league for 10 years.
It's interesting, too. We talked with Lisa. She was so happy to be a teammate of Candace Parker's. A lot of times you see in pro sports where you have a veteran and a young player comes in and there's some animosity, there's some jealousy, but not the case with these two players. And that could be why LA is another reason why LA could win a championship this year. Taurasi really heating up in the second half. Now has 24 points, and it's a one-possession game with under a minute to play.
And we talked about Diana Taurasi hits those big-time shots at the right time, and that was one of them.
Parker calling for it. Willingham, great defense. Parker on the floor, turned it over. It'll go to the Mercury.
I I think everybody from the Phoenix Mercury team at one time or another has guarded Candace Parker tonight.
Including Corey Gaines, the head coach, I think. But Phoenix gets it right back as Parker comes up with a steal. She's fouled and will go back to the free throw line, where she's only 6 out of 12. Despite her struggles at the free throw line, she has 30 points, the most ever for a rookie in her debut.
We talked about leasing Candace, and with a young player coming in and playing with a seasoned veteran. But Coach Cooper talked about, yeah, Candace might be in awe, but it's with the respect of Lisa Leslie. And on the reverse, Lisa's a little bit in awe of Candace Parker and the abilities that she has at such a young age.
Now, Parker was joking with us yesterday that Michael Cooper told her that he thought that she might have been praying behind the scenes during her senior season that Los Angeles would end up with that first pick. She's always looked up to Lisa Leslie and said she thought long and hard. Really didn't factor into her decision to leave early, but certainly looking back now, the opportunity for her to play with Lisa Leslie. A dream come true, and she's got 31 points in her first game as Leslie's teammate. Big three by Pondexter gives her 32, and more importantly, gets the Mercury within 1 point. Robert Sarver, the bottom left corner of your screen, the first one to stand up. The rest of the crowd does as they follow their owner. 8 seconds to shoot. Parker with the ball down low. Great spin and score with the left hand. Los Angeles by 3 and a timeout with 12 seconds left.
Make her go around you now.
33 for Candace Parker.
Happy, it definitely doesn't look like she just got off a plane. She's right in rhythm where she left off from winning the finals, but the high-low action from Candace Parker, from Lisa Leslie to Candace Parker down low, that's going to be a nightmare for many a team in the league this year.
That's at least her second basket with her offhand. Candace Parker using that left hand, and there you see the encouragement as well as the tutelage. Lisa Leslie to Candace Parker. What a debut for a player many think is the future of the WNBA. 20 points in the second half for Candace Parker.
She just has
throwing it to whoever's here. Taurasi's down here. She's coming to set a pick. She sets a pick, and then they doubling away. Switch everything. D, you the last one coming off this. Smooth, you can switch. We don't care if they go by her. All right, go get her. She comes up. Ford comes over. Hits her.
Diana Taurasi's parents. Will it be Taurasi taking a 3 here, Carolyn? Or do you go for the 2 if you're Phoenix?
I think that the way that Taurasi has hit some big shots, I think you take the best available shot. I don't think you limit it and say you can't take a 3 and have to go for a 2. I think you've got to go for the best and the best available shot.
Taurasi with 24 points. Cappy Pondexter has 32. She just hit a 3 moments ago to get Phoenix within 1, and then Parker came back with a basket on the other end. Parker, Leslie, Tamika Johnson, Muriel Page, and Milton Jones on the floor for Los Angeles. Here's Pondexter, 10 seconds to go. Pondexter gets it off, can't hit the 3, rebounded by Candace Parker, and she's fouled with 4.4 on the clock. 12th rebound for Candace Parker. Now Cappy Pondexter just got teed up by Cameron Inouye. She was unhappy that a foul was not called after that 3-point shot that she missed just moments ago.
Well, out of frustration, was awarded a technical foul. As she came down, she gathered herself. I don't know if it was a foul on the shot. It looked like there may have been a little contact before the shot.
So Page shoots the technical. And now the free throws from the foul coming up, but it's a 2-possession game with 4.4. remaining. So Los Angeles, it appears, will win its first game of the 2008 campaign. Many feel the Sparks are the team to beat in the WNBA. The defending champion Mercury will go down in defeat. Candace Parker, 7 of 14 at the free throw line, yet 33 points in her debut. And the best, you would think, is still yet to come for number 3.
Well, the WNBA champions in their season opener are 8-2, and the 2 losses, Dave, have been to the LA Sparks.
Again, 1 out of 2 for Candace Parker, so she won't be happy with her foul shooting, but still 34 points in the game. Kelly Miller's 3 no good. LA wins it 99-94 in the best game.
I'm a sophomore guard at the University of Pennsylvania. Been training with HomeCourtEdge for almost 10 years now. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on all of HC's social media channels, and stay tuned for our journey.